आदाब नमस्कार सत श्रीकाल प्रोग्राम विशेष मुलाकात तुहाडा सारा स्वागत है जी। इस प्रोग्राम च असीं कोशिश करते हैं कि जिहड़े खास जिन्होंने लोगों ने कोई खास मल्ला मारियां होंदियां ने, चाहे वो कलाकार होण, चाहे वो पॉलिटिशियन होण, चाहे वो स्पोर्ट्स दे विच होण, किसी भी गल जिन्होंने मल्ला मारियां असीं उन्हां नूं तुहाडे नाल मिलाउने आ। ते अज मैनूं इस गल दी खुशी हो रही है कि साडे स्टूडियो दे विच एक बड़े हंडे होए सियासतदान जिन्होंने 13 साल एज ए मैंबर पार्लीमेंट तो 13 साल ही उन्होंने एज ए काउंसलर मिसिसागा उन्होंने सेवा करते हो गए। तो इस वे वो मिसिसागा की जी मेयर की इलैक्शन हो रही है वो उम्मीदवार ने। मैं तुहानू मिलाउण जा रहा जी मिसिस कैरलन पैरिश। मिस पैरिश, वेलकम टू आवर स्टूडियोज।
Thank you for inviting me.
How are you?
I am well today. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for asking. Yeah. Before we start on politics, and I just want to know about who Carolyn Parrish is.
Well, Carolyn Parrish has been well documented on a few television adventures, but the real me is I'm married 50 years.
Right.
I have two daughters, two very fine son-in-laws. One family has 3 grandchildren for me, and the other has 2, and they all have dogs. And I get to babysit them all on a regular basis.
That's great. Yeah, you babysit the dog as well?
Yeah, dogs for sure.
I have a dog as well, and I know how to do that. It's a tough job. Regarding what made you to decide to run for the mayor of Mississauga?
Well, it's a big job. We've got 4 new councillors. We are going to miss Bonnie Crombie. She's gone on to bigger and better things, I guess. I love city politics. As you've mentioned, I was an MP for a while.
Right.
But I love being a councillor. So I looked around and I thought, well, I'm the most experienced here. 2 of my colleagues graduated last year. They didn't run in 2022. So I'm the one with the most experience, and I decided that I would really like to do it.
Carolyn, the hot topic these days is the car thefts. You know, it's all over, regardless. I want to talk to other issues as well. But car theft today, even there were a few arrests in this thing that happened in Bolton, I guess. But how, if you become a mayor, how will you handle this situation?
Well, first of all, I don't like passing the buck to another level of government. We have a very fine police department here. Chief Nish is doing a great job.
Right.
The difficulty is federally. They haven't brought up safety standards and protection for cars since 2007, so the manufacturers have to go back and put in protections.
Right.
Number 2, the feds don't have scanners at our 2 big ports, Montreal and Vancouver. Truckloads or carloads of stolen cars go through. In the United States, every cargo is scanned through a scanner, so you can see there's 20 cars in there. You pull it out of the line and you check the paperwork, and it becomes very difficult to ship, therefore they stop stealing them. So those are 2 very important things. Plus, they're using a lot of 16 and 18-year-olds to do the thefts.
Right.
They're paying them $500 a car.
Right.
They're getting a police record, which, yeah, it can be erased as a youth, but it's getting them on the wrong path in life. So I think the scanners at both of our ports, absolutely necessary, and the manufacturers. How am I going to change that? I get along very well with all 3 levels of government, so I'm going to have a little chat with whoever's the Prime Minister right after I'm elected. It looks like they might be calling an election, so I don't know who it'll be.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But that's a really, it's a safety issue because they're getting very bold and they're pushing people over. They killed a young man that was delivering pizza. I'm sure it was an accidental death, but it was still rough. And a lot of seniors are very concerned because they're afraid they're going to get their house broken into for keys.
That's true, yeah. Okay. Housing. We have a big problem. Actually, whose problem is it? Is it municipal? Is it provincial? Is it federal? Or is it everyone's?
I think it's everyone's problem. I think it's more serious in Mississauga than in other parts of the GTA. We've lost 40,000 residents since the last census. We're the only one that has lost people.
Okay.
And they're mostly young people like your sons and my daughters. They're moving where they can afford to buy a house or they can afford to pay rent.
Right.
So it is our problem. It's a provincial problem and it's a federal problem. We all have to work together. What I would do is we have to reevaluate. I've got in Ward 5, 163 acres zoned office space, and nobody's building offices. So that needs to be looked at, rezoned multi-use, and we have to start being creative. Some of the big plaza owners want to get rid of some of all that paving and some of those stores and build some high-rise buildings there with stores in the base. We have to start being creative.
It just came to my mind. So many builders have been issued permits to build homes or condo buildings. It's all over Ontario. That's what I heard. And how, if those permits been issued in Mississauga already, how will you push those people to start building the buildings?
Well, I think the feds and the province are doing that already. The province has just announced that the development charges should be frozen for the next 3 years. So that's going to help. But the big issue right now is the interest rates.
Right.
So a lot of these builders are sitting tight until the interest rates come down, because when they start building, they have to borrow the money to build with.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's a whole bunch of things squeezing them right now. And I think some of it has to be freezing DCs, as the province has done. Some of it has to be incentives, like the feds are doing. And some of it has to be more efficiency at the municipal level.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Refugees is a big issue. It's not only in Toronto, but it has happened in Mississauga as well. You know that there was a death happened as well. It was frozen to death, I guess, something like that. It was something like that. I just recall something happened, right?
Yeah.
So refugees are a problem in your municipality as well. How will you handle it?
Well, first of all, the federal government is giving us a huge amount of money. We are going to have a processing center right in my ward, right outside of Malton on Airport Road.
Right.
We're going to have to start processing these folks, making sure that they're getting into shelters right away, and then getting out of the shelter.
Yeah.
Find them jobs.
That's right.
Get them to work, and have them able to pay rent somewhere, and get them really established. Separation
from Peel.
Okay.
What are your views on it?
Well, I'm glad it was stopped, but some good came out of it. We are downloading planning to the local cities, the 3 municipalities, and that was a big stumbling block. You would get through planning in your own municipality, Mississauga, Brampton, Caledon, then you would have to get through it again at Peel. So that's been downloaded so that it's going to be a much smoother operation. We're also downloading regional roads. Large roads like Derry will be downloaded to Mississauga to take care of. So you won't have plows out from the region and plows out from the city, and you'll save money with that.
So
I'm not losing any sleep over the failure to separate. I've always been concerned because the region is very good at social services, paramedics, they do the police.
Right.
And you would have to reestablish 3 departments to replace 1 in each of the municipalities, and I don't see how that wouldn't have cost us a lot of money.
Seniors, people are living longer with the grace of God, with I guess with the medical help. But as we are living longer, we are having more problems. Seniors, it's very hard to take care of them. Sometimes there are not enough places so seniors can go to so they can live. Affordability is not there, so they can have in their later years they can go to a place where they can afford to and live a comfortable life. How you will handle this?
Well, we just had an incident. We just had a Chartwell building sold to to Menkes, and everybody got a 3-month notice to get out. And it's a seniors building.
Yeah.
And nobody in their senior years can find something that's affordable in 3 months. It's not possible.
Right.
So I know the council has sent letters to the province to say we've got to set up a bill that says they're protected. They can be 6 months, whatever it is. That's number 1. Number 2, We have a lot of very active seniors. I've been to a few seniors clubs, and they are very busy. They play bingo, they dance, they do exercise.
Yeah.
And the trouble is, some of those facilities get closed down in the summer because we have to use them for the kids that are out of school. So there has to be a way that we can ensure that the seniors are accommodated. The other thing is, if you sit in the parking lot, not that I do that a lot, of community centers, from about 10 o'clock till about 3 o'clock, it's all seniors. So I don't know why we don't reduce whatever it costs them to go in there to almost zero, because the facility's there, it's being used, and it's not at a time when all the young people are using it. I also was the councillor that brought in $1 bus fares, and I would like to have zero for seniors bus fares, because that's what they have in Brampton. I don't see why we can't do it.
This is only a thought. I know it's not easy to do it, but down the road, is there any possibility a senior who has lived in their house for, let's say, for 25 years, or who had paid taxes, property taxes for 25 years or so, or 30 years, that those seniors will get some kind of tax break in their later years?
What we have right now in Mississauga is, if you are living on a pension, and your spouse is on a pension, and you earn less than, I think it's, I don't even remember what the amount is, it changes all the time, but if you earn less than a certain amount, you can apply to have your taxes reduced. And lots of seniors do that. What we haven't done is publicized it well. It should go out with your tax bill. And then you would know to apply for it, or, I mean, if you can afford to pay the taxes, you're going to have to pay the taxes. But if you're at the point where you've paid them all your life, and you're on a fixed income, the thing that's unusual, you can look at two houses on a street. They're identical. Their taxes are identical. One house has 4 wage earners in it, 2 adult children and 2 adults working, and the other house has a senior or 2 seniors on a fixed income. They shouldn't be paying the same taxes. So I used to bring it up when I was in Ottawa as an MP and say, why don't we have, like we have now, your income tax goes to the feds, goes to the province. Should be another portion that goes to the municipality, and that would fix that.
That's great. It's a great idea.
Nobody listened to me there, though.
Well, now they will.
Oh, I don't know. I was pretty loud when I was there.
Well, I remember all those years. In the end, what would you like to say to our viewers? What is your message?
Well, my message is, I've got federal experience. I've got lots of municipal experience. I'm an honorary member of the Malton community. I've been there 9 years. I have a really good background in all the various wonderful multicultural groups that we've got in our city. I really want to do this job, and I would really like to be elected and show you what I can do, and work together with my colleagues on council to put on a really good couple of years for the citizens of Mississauga.
Carolyn, thanks for coming to our studios. It was a pleasure talking to you, and a chance to talk to you about the issues, and I hope you will come again and we'll talk on the other issues as well.
Right on. I'd love to. Thank you.
Thank you. ਇਹ ਸੀਗੇ ਜੀ ਕੈਰਲਨ ਪੈਰਿਸ਼, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਮਿਸਿਸਾਗਾ ਦੇ ਮੇਅਰ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਰਨ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਸੁਣੇ ਨੇ। ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੋਵੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਜਦੋਂ ਅਗਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਕੈਰਲਨ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਣਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਸਵਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਸਾਂਝੇ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇਖਣ ਲਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ। ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹੋ ਹਮਦਰਦ TV।